President Rodrigo Duterte on Tuesday says he will reject the recommendation of the Mining Industry Coordinating Council to lift the ban on open-pit mining. Duterte says he would have followed the recommendation if he were convinced mining companies would be able to immediately rectify the damage to the environment wrought by their operations.
Ayaw ko because it is destroying the soil, the environment, at walang corrective measures kaagad. Binabari sana na may makita ako ng scrape area when I go back there to visit the place, and I could see a lot of trees growing and the environment corrected of its destruction.
Duterte says the government could do away with the billions of taxes mining companies pay in order to be able to mine. The MICC recommended the lifting of the ban on open-pit mining last October. The ban was put in place by former Environment Secretary Gina Lopez back in April, with Duterte's vocal support. The MICC is co-chaired by Lopez's replacement, Environment Secretary Roy Cimatu, and Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III. Foreign Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano on Tuesday downplays the 2016 arbitral award won by the Philippines against China and says it is enough to cite a 1982 convention in statements about the South China Sea dispute. Cayetano, in a television interview, says the Philippines' arbitral award in 2016 also refers to the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, the so-called Constitution for the Oceans. He makes the remarks in reference to critics who stress the need to cite the Hague ruling on the South China Sea. Cayetano says, quote, "What is the arbitral award? Isn't that UNCLOS 1982? But all statements contain UNCLOS 1982. But this is only a half-truth. While the Philippines' case against China was based on UNCLOS, this is not equivalent to the Law of the Sea Convention. Even before Manila won its case against Beijing, the Philippines and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations have cited UNCLOS in their statements on the South China Sea. The Hague ruling was a new element that has never made its way into any ASEAN statement. The tribunal concluded there was no legal basis for China to claim historic rights to resources within the sea areas falling within the 9-dash line. Cayetano says citing the Hague ruling is wording that does not have an effect in the legal sphere, but he insists the Philippines brought up the arbitration award in its bilateral talks with China. United States Human Rights Chief Zeid Ra'ad al-Hussein slams President Rodrigo Duterte for threatening to slap UN Special Rapporteur Agnes Calamard if she probes the Philippine leader over extrajudicial killings. Spokesperson to the Human Rights Chief Rupert Colville cites Duterte's threat to slap Calamard on November 9 if she investigates him for alleged extrajudicial killings in his war on drugs. Colville says, quote, "The High Commissioner also deplores the repeated insults and threats of physical violence against the UN Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial, summary, or arbitrary executions, Agnes Calamard, by the President of the Philippines and his supporters." He says Duterte made the same threat against Calamard in June. Colville adds Duterte's personal attacks and a tirade of online abuse against Calamard seems to be designed to intimidate her into not carrying out her mandate. Calamard first earned Duterte's ire by saying his war on drugs should be investigated due to reports of state-sanctioned killings of drug suspects. Duterte previously invited her to come to the Philippines to begin her probe, but on the condition that she debates with him in public and under oath.